When I think of God's justice, I think of correction, just almost similar to what we see here on earth. A courtroom, um, definitely a defending attorney, a prosecuting attorney. Uh, Probably not much different than what you would see here. So, but it's probably on a heavenly realm, much different, of course. But when we see injustice, it's done obviously with malice and harm to one person or another or more. And so many people have been harmed in so many different situations that we need justice to prevail. God's justice ultimately prevails. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't have justice here by going to court and going through the system and seeing justice served. It just means that ultimately the real price that was paid for justice was Jesus' blood at the cross. But that being said, we know Jesus died for the several reasons, not just the injustices of this earth. Okay. And I don't want to get into the heavy topics right now because the topic really is that Jesus is our advocate. Because we who have been victims of crime or been punished unnecessarily brings me back to the topic of abandoned children. Jesus loves his children, especially the ones that have been victimized and abused. And this topic came up because earlier yesterday I brought it up and I saw how bewildered and lost the children felt. And I thought, how can a parent be so vicious? And obviously in the video, the parents came back looking for their kids. You'd think that they had been like accidentally misplaced their children or something. It's a strange situation nonetheless. But what happens in these situations where children are abandoned, years later they grow up and they have been traumatized by that situation or traumatized by situations like that or multiple situations, and they never get the full justice of the situation corrected. And I am telling you from personal experience that justice is never really served. And Jesus, I know, he corrects the victim's situation in a different way. He ultimately is going to prevail in the system of justice in heaven. And if it brings anyone comfort to know that if you've lost a loved one through some crime or some situation that was illegal, justice will prevail in God's courtroom. And I always envision this courtroom to be a grand place. So I imagine it's going to be a bigger, much larger occasion for us. Just like the throne room in heaven, it is probably massive and bright, of course. But I wanted to talk about this because obviously the throne room in heaven is a place where it's holy, and just like Jesus being holy. And we want to be right before the Lord so that we can be present ourselves as righteous with his righteousness and be ready for that moment we are handed down our sentence, because we don't want to be sentenced to death. We want to be given the keys and also see our name in the book of life. You know what I mean? So that's it for me. Thank you for listening, and God bless.